Hi guys, I hope everyone is having a great day and a great week. I have been so busy the past couple of weeks and I'm back, but yeah. This video I just want to give advice for I feel like any part of your life where you're feeling down and feeling like you have no purpose in life and you just like don't know what to do. I am here to give you my advice that I wish that I knew. And I feel like it's not that it's broad, but I think that the little pieces of advice that I will be sharing in this video today, I think will help many people because it's helped me, it's helped other people that I've told, and I think that when we share valuable information as a society to each other, it's so important because some people need it more than others. And that also goes to say that we all have ups and downs in life, and learning how to navigate through those emotions and those feelings and making sure that, you know, we don't act on how we feel, because then life would be a disaster if we just acted on how we felt in every situation. But let's jump right into the video. First, I think it doesn't matter how little or how much that you have. You can be homeless or you can be a billionaire. You have to learn to be grateful for anything. Because if you don't learn gratitude, you won't, in times of need, like when you feel like you need something, when you feel like you don't know something, when you stop and think about what you already have and what you've already been given in this life, what you already have been granted with, it, I feel like, calms down my nervous system so much, because there's so many things that I have, like the number is countless. And that goes to say also that, like, first of all, I'm not a billionaire, but like also it helps to understand that life is so much more than these unwanted feelings and emotions that we also get in life. And I also think that when we learn to understand that, first, people will always come and go in your life. Sometimes we mean for that to happen because you, let's say, understand that you deserve more and better, so you take, action in your own hands. But when you learn that people naturally have an effect on our life, because we are always surrounded by other human beings, and we're always surrounded by, objects, things, nature. And so these things all will have an effect on our life. And that's my opinion. Some people might disagree and say people don't have an effect on our lives, but I genuinely think that every small little thing that we share in common, like how we live in the society together, we see people when we go outside, we feel the air and the breeze, everything that we all share, it symbolizes some sort of connection that we all have between each other. And I think that it's so important, because when we learn that there is so much more to be grateful for, and I don't just mean grateful for the things that we have in our life, like objects and clothes and products, like I'm not talking about that. Like, of course, like, be grateful for those things, but it's like when you're grateful for living, like literally living, when you're thankful for breathing air and you're not stuck in a hospital and you're not in the ground, like you are a living being, you have control over certain things, you also won't have control over certain things. And learning that it's okay to not have control over certain things, being grateful for that. Like, I think if we were given the opportunity to be great, if we were given the opportunity to have control over everything in our life, I think that would be honestly worse. I think it would, in my opinion, I think that would be worse. And some people, like thinking about little like examples, we would think that, okay, but like I do wish I had control over everything, because then like my decisions would be so much easier and I would know how to act. But in my opinion, I feel like if we had control over every little thing in our life, someone that's indecisive, like that doesn't, you know, make decisions easily, and also it's like it's hard to make decisions. For me personally, I'm indecisive. Like sometimes I don't even know where to go and eat, and I don't know what to wear that day. I feel like if I personally had control over everything in my life, it would be worse. And sometimes most of the time when I don't have control over things now, I'm grateful for that, because I, maybe not in that moment, I feel like it's a good thing and it's going to benefit my life, but later on, I do. I always do. And that also comes with learning how to forgive. Like you have to learn how to forgive. Forgive yourself, forgive other people in your life, forgive certain situations. Like if you wish that you did something but you didn't because, I don't know, out of fear or you're scared, forgiveness is one of the biggest things that I think I've learned, because there's always not just about like, I feel like when we hear the word forgiveness, we're like, oh, okay, so like I need to learn how to forgive other people. Like if someone, let's say, did something in your life that was negative and bad, and you know, you have to learn how to forgive them, but it's not just about that. It's so much more. And you know, we as human beings tend to hold on to a lot of things. It's like, think about, let's say, someone who just like has a clutter of clothing and things in their house and they just can't get rid of it. And naturally, that is what we do. We hold on to memories, we hold on to things. And so when we do that, it's sometimes really hard to forgive, because we're like, oh, let's say we're using someone as an example, and we're like, I could never forgive that person for what they did because I would never do that to them. And I don't know how they can do that to me because I thought different of them, right? And so then you think, okay, but how can I ever forgive someone for that? Or it could even be a parent, like some people that I have seen on the internet, met, like they don't have good relationships with their parents. They did not grow up in a good household. And so that's super important, because learning how to forgive those things that you feel like you can never forgive, that's growth. That's where you will start to notice in your life that there's so much more to just being upset. And like, I'm not saying being upset is a bad thing. We're gonna get scared and be upset and get mad and nervous and have, let's say, negative thoughts. Like that is a normal thing. Those are normal things that we have in our life, but then it needs to balance with that good side. And sometimes I notice that people can't balance the good and the bad. And it's not that you have complete control or you don't have complete control over those things, but it's like, at the end of the day, if you have eyes that you can see out of, a mouth you can talk out of, a brain that works, if your brain is working, like even people that are blind and deaf, like if you have even something, and that literally, oh, sorry about that, my pimple patch just came off for a second, but when you have a support system with yourself and you start to trust yourself and you believe that you deserve better, your life will change, because you're not going to go and do the same things that you did. You could still grow and go back to some old patterns. And I'm not saying that because like that's okay. Like sometimes we do things that we're not supposed to do, even though we know it's not good. Like that's okay, because we're not perfect. None of us are perfect. I feel like perfect is such a it's such a like word that's used in imagination and fantasies, because it's like when we watch movies, we're like, we could say that, oh my god, like that was so perfect. The way that they were acting was so perfect, the place they filmed it was so perfect and beautiful, whatever. But in reality, perfection will always, in my opinion, even perfection will have a flaw. And that's okay. Like that's what people don't understand, is that like it's okay to understand that, Because if you don't understand it, then you're going to use that information of, oh my God, like I have to be this, I have to do that, I can't let go of this, I have to act this way. You're going to use that, and then it's going to affect your life to the point where those decisions that you make won't even be for you. And so that growth that comes with it, being thankful and forgiving and letting go, and coming to a realization that at the end of the day, you only have yourself, period. I don't care if you're married, I don't care if you have kids. At the end of the day, you will always be by yourself with those thoughts that sometimes you never speak about, or, those decisions that you never take actions upon. But we as individuals, I feel like that's not talked about enough. Like us as individuals, not as a society. And I was talking a little bit about that in the beginning, how we have to like those connections that we have with other people. But at the end of the day, like we have ourselves, and we have to learn to love ourselves and understand that we are capable of more, way more than we will ever believe. Like you can believe in yourself, but like believe more, because you are capable of so much more than you think. And it's like, for example, just like knowing that you're going to present something and going up on stage and feeling nervous and feeling that, urge of what if something happens, but you could have been on stage like 10 other times, but you're still going to feel that way. And so when you understand that we are capable as individuals of so much more in life, you'll start to have a big eye opener on those decisions that you make. Because I feel like decisions that we make in our life dictate our lifestyle. And of course it does. Like imagine you just wake up and then you don't do anything for the rest of the day. Like those actions, waking up, making your bed, doing your skincare, eating breakfast, working out, going to work, whatever it is, those actions are considered your lifestyle and how you live your life, and what you do to yourself, what you say to yourself, what you eat, literally everything. And that also connects to what you allow in that life. Because sometimes we allow things, like I said, that we know are bad, like people and things that we do. We know those things are bad, but we still allow it. And when that growth kicks in of like, that you shouldn't be doing something, and like it's like, for example, if you think about abusive relationship with someone, like sexually, and they keep going back and they keep getting into deeper shit because let's say like they're getting manipulated, they're getting gaslighted. And it's like, that's so important, because it's like if you keep letting things in your life that aren't good for you, you're gonna start to believe that it's good for you, because it's not like killing you, like, oh, if it was that bad it would kill me by now. But no, like you can never live like that. And it's okay if you have, like, that's what I'm saying, like it's okay to make mistakes. Like you're gonna fail in life, you're gonna feel certain ways about certain stuff and certain experiences, but those skills that you learn, what you gain from every little situation and how you feel with those situations, you can't act on how you feel. Sometimes, of course, like if you're like really happy and you're hanging out with your friends and you're like, okay, yeah, let's go to this place, right? You're gonna act on how you feel because it's like you're happy and you wanna see people. But you can't do it all the time, because sometimes when you feel a certain way, let's say one person in that friend group like doesn't want to go, like doesn't want to go out to a place, let's say it's the club, right? But like everyone else is like, no, yeah, that would be so much fun. And so those feelings and what we allow in our life dictates this lifestyle, what we do the next day, right? And so I just think that prioritizing ourselves is so important. That comes with so many different things. And what really sucks is that it's like our life is on a scale. Like you start here where like you're born, you're a baby, you can't talk, you can't walk, you barely can eat, and then it's like boom, take the next leap, you start eating, you start walking, boom 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 boom, till you're at an age where let's say you're filled with regret and you're filled with fear and you're filled with all the miserable things that you wish that you did and whatever. And so if you genuinely feel a gut feeling of what you should do, or you feel that there's something that's bothering you, find out what it is that is bothering you and start there. Start where you think in your life is bothering you the most. Because I feel like when I started this journey of like wellness and self-help and just wanting better for myself, I kind of took in matters of my own hands of like just, okay, if I, let's say, did this routine, I'm gonna feel so much better. But it's not always about the routine and those habits that you do. It's about what happened in your past and what you can do towards that, not the feelings that came with the past, but with that information and knowledge that you gained to then understand what is bothering you and work on those things that are bothering you. And that's really important. And be grateful. Be grateful for the bad things that happen to you in life, not just the good things. When you learn that, it makes a big difference. Being grateful for the bad things that happen to you. And you might not understand that, and you might understand that, I don't know. But for me, it kind of like hits deep because it's like, now when something, let's say, bad happens in my life, I'm like, I'm okay. Like, I'm happy that that happened, and I'm grateful, and I'm so grateful that that happened to me, you know? Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and learned something, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.